It's a shank.
This is pretty much what they call a shank. You used to like punch someone. It was located under the heater after we knocked it a few times and fell out. It's hard metal. Not sure what it's made of, but definitely can do some damage.
I would probably look for something like this if I were to get incarcerated, just for protection.
Deputy Rolax and his officers conduct a shakedown, confiscating a lethal weapon before it can be used.
Check here. Hold on. Oh yeah, another one. Another shank. Inside of the toilet. Not really sure where this comes from, but they trimmed these down. This is pretty sticky. See, stick things in the side here. Stuff like this. Keep the door from getting closed. So they can come out and hurt whoever they want to. It's still like the streets. They're just housed together, like it's still the streets. Fighting, stabbing, it's a lot that happens here. It's a war zone. Oh!
Find something else?
Yep.
Find something?
Found some more. Two more. Where'd you find it? Toilet. Well, the sink. They broke in this. And they wonder why things don't work in here. They're calling their loved ones, saying that toilets aren't working, sinks aren't working, because they're breaking them like this and hiding stuff like this and making stuff like this out of. I'm about to take everything. Commissary, visitations, all that. Look at this. Look at this. This is crazy.
The seized items will be turned over to a commanding officer who will launch an investigation into the contraband discovered.
My goal when I do this is to find stuff like this so that we can save someone's life. Someone can live another day. And not only the inmates, but also us when we come in. Because technically they allow us to go home. Every night they'll allow us. It's more of them than it is us. Unfortunately, we haven't found every shank that's been made. And that's part of the game.
The warden.
Yeah. It's a piece of metal off or something.
That's part of off of a razor.
Based on the intel gathered by Lieutenant Crow, Warden Taylor and his team are shaking down the whole facility, starting with B Block.
So we're basically looking for anything modified. Could be a sharpened up toothbrush, any type of shank, any type of loose pills. There's not supposed to have any medication back here. Oh, I got something right here. Basically, an e-cigarette battery. They can get them on commissary. They'll use this battery to light any type of little fire, smoke something. Basically to light just about anything they can get their hands on. So here's a whole bunch of bits and pieces they've been taking from those e-cigarettes. Oh, I didn't expect to find this much stuff in my first locker.
You'll have deputies walking back here. You have very slick pickpocketers that will pickpocket their pins. They can pose a serious threat. Weapons.
Pills there.
Oh, pills? They'll cheek these whenever we give them to them and then just pop them back out once they try to go back up in the dormitory. They get all types of stuff back here, from Klonopin to melatonin. Some people get antipsychotics. Well, Warden, we found something. We got some screw bolts.
The bolts could be the screws mentioned in the anonymous inmate letter.
They'll pry anything off that they can to try to make a shank out of, just about, or just to try to make something to shank somebody with. The hell? Found this wrapped up.
While searching the rest of B Block, officers uncover multiple possible shanks.
So here we have a shank found underneath one of the cabinets in one of the dormitories back here. You know, it's easy to conceal, quick stab. If your hands are small enough, you can easily get it back all the way over to here. Turn it into a grip, come up behind somebody. That's it.
This the other shank?
So what we have here is an insulin needle taped onto a toothbrush handle. And depending on the mood of the day, it can either be a homemade tattoo device, a homemade weapon, and this poses a great risk to offenders and workers alike.
All right, y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Grab the trays, grab whatever y'all found, and let's roll out.
Yes, sir.
We searched the block and found a contraband weapon and some screws. It's our job to prevent them from having those things.
I would say that was pretty successful.
All right, good deal.
So we did recover a lot of stuff. We got those shanks.
So are you able to sort of pin this down on a specific person? Is somebody going to get charges for this?
Based on where they're sleeping, yeah, we can. We're gonna try.
What is that one?
Looks like X pills to me. Ecstasy pills.
While conducting a pat-down, an officer uncovers a concealed vial of pills tucked inside the inmate's jumpsuit.
It was in his front pocket. He just got here. His last name was. No, sir. It was right here in your front pocket. What is that? I don't know. They was in the junk. They was in the It was in his front pocket. Everything get washed right here in his front pocket. Before you get put on, everything get washed. Go to lunch. I didn't put that in there, sir. Really? I didn't put that. Come on, put your hands in your mouth.
He actually said that they were already in the pocket of the pair of coveralls that he was issued. Impossible. Impossible.
Yeah, all the coveralls or jumpsuits or some of them's pants and tops, they all go through the wash before they reissue to another inmate. So that would not have been in a pocket. Even though you do a full search whenever they come in, a small item like this can easily be put in places that you can't see, males and females. So sometimes something like that could be held pretty tight, and you wouldn't necessarily find that whenever you did your search. We good, guys.
Right now, he's going to go to the segregation unit till this investigation gets started, and we're going to turn this over to Investigator McGraney to prefer charges on him.
As part of the investigation, the confiscated pills will be sent to the crime lab for narcotics testing.
He'll probably be charged with contraband in a prison, which could be 36 months, it could be 60 months.
Lieutenant James Moore of the Caddo Correctional Center's Special Investigations Unit is leading a targeted shakedown in the jail today.
In the Special Investigations Unit, we are investigators / detectives on incidents that happen inside the jail. Come on. We've had a problem in this housing unit with possible synthetic marijuana getting into the jail. The last thing we want is an inmate to get hurt by smoking something that they shouldn't be smoking. Heaven forbid one pass away or one of them gets sick. Our job is to protect the inmates, no matter what. All right, y'all, I got the film crew. We ain't doing this just for filming purposes. It just happened to hit on this day. This is what we got. We're gonna go hit Echo. Y'all all know, you've heard the rumor of the employee that was allegedly bringing stuff in. We can't talk about that right now. We're gonna do one tier at a time. We're gonna bring them out. We're pat searching everybody and putting them in the rec yard. Okay?
And please check their hair, because I know one time, about a week ago, a guy with dreads hid batteries and different stuff beside his head in his dreads. So
Everybody good? Yes, all right.
White shirts, green shorts.
With 15 officers carrying out the shakedown, the entire facility is put on compound lockdown. In E Unit, the water is turned off to prevent the flushing of any contraband.
Typical day at CCC.
what are they doing?
Being fooled.
The Special Investigations Unit is working with the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office Canine Unit to help identify the cells involved in the synthetic marijuana ring.
The dog, that's a genetic predatory response to a predatory odor that we put in them. It could be marijuana, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, any of those.
Synthetic marijuana is very, 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 very dangerous, okay? A lot of times they call it K2 on the street. What they do is they'll soak it in some type of fluid and then put it on paper. It could be right here, and then they sell it. And one sheet of paper, I believe the going rate is $500.
A canine alerts on an inmate locker, signaling to the Special Investigations Unit that it either contains or at one time contained dangerous synthetic marijuana, known as K2. The canine signals on another cell.
More. So there's a bunch of stuff in the toilet. So I don't know if they threw it in there.
You can smell it in there.
You got the same thing in this Foot Locker over here. So
if we walked in the door with all of the people, they would start flushing everything. We shut the water off about 10 to 15 minutes before for that purpose. You still smell that burning smell. It's just regular paper, but it has a waxy film to it, and that's how we know what it is.
Did you find anything?
Nothing out of normal. But neither one of those inmates are going back inside those cells because since the dog hit on those cells, it's a possibility that there is drugs inside the cell.
Don't act confused. Y'all know what's going on? Okay, well, you about to find out.
The inmates living in the cells where the dogs alerted are being moved to the segregation unit pending further investigations by the SIU. After the shakedown, inmates are brought in from the rec yard and searched once more before going back to their cells.
Don't be putting your hands on me like that, man. Man, you trying to, hold on, man. You going too far, man.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. What the heck just happened?
It was a calculated hit. They shut the whole dorm down, but they really wanted one person. They wasn't trying to mess with everybody else. Everybody else was just a decoy so it won't look odd.
Why do you think that?
I'm saying, I'm a convict.
They're short-staffed. The reason they're short-staffed is because they're not getting paid much. So I could put $600-700 in your pocket like that. A couple grand in your pocket. Come bring this in for me. It ain't us. We can't grow this in here. So you tell me, where do you think it's coming from?
Caddo Correctional Center need help. They need help with their staff. Everybody like to keep us in cages. We got a 98% conviction rate out of everybody. I just had a partner just take a life sentence. He ain't nothing but 17. Oh, man. It's crazy, but it is what it is.
It's a shame. This is pretty much what they call a shank. You used to like punch someone. It was located under the heater after we knocked it a few times and fell out. It's hard metal. Not sure what it's made of, but definitely can do some damage. The more we find stuff like this, saves lives, inmates' lives, our lives. So doing stuff like this on a daily basis really helps. It goes to SIU, and then they just start their process from there. Are you done yet? Good? Result?
It's a 24-hour operation when it comes to contraband. It's very, very difficult to control. We try to minimize it as best as possible, but remember, they have 365 days a year to manipulate these items, and we have to keep in contact with figuring out how we're going to find these items. So it's not easy to do.
Given the jail's significant gang population, it's critical for the Special Investigations Unit to quickly review every piece of seized contraband to determine whether unit assignments need to be adjusted.
So we got 4 shanks that we found during the shakedown this morning in HA unit. If they have an issue with another inmate, they use it to intimidate them, or sometimes they can actually stab you with it, you know? This looks like a piece of a tablet, and they sharpen it. They sharpen it to a point where, you know, this looks like a piece of a fan motor that they sell in the canteen. They take the fan apart and they grab the piece of metal in there, they shop it to a point. They're trapped with a piece of bed sheet and they use it like as a handle, you know, to actually puncture a wound into you. Same thing with this one. This looks like a piece of fence. This is the one that can do the most damage. I mean, nice handle here, a nice 6-inch piece of steel sharpened to a point. Definitely can kill somebody very, very easily. These three we found in a cell so we can discipline the inmates that were assigned to that cell. A formal disciplinary report is written to the individual that was in that particular cell, and then the disciplinary board officer will have an interview with them, and then a lot of these guys, they'll plead guilty and they get sanctioned. Freedom that you have in the unit, we're gonna take that away from you and lock you in a cell for 10 days.
Does it work?
You want my honest opinion? I would say 50-50. So it works for some guys, and for some guys, you just don't care. They're gonna go back out to population, and they're gonna do the same thing.
So this is how we have it set up.
Okay.
There's a mix of boxes and mail out.
With a large amount of drug arrests in Virginia Beach, keeping narcotics and other contraband out of the jail is a constant struggle.
We have 3 canines that are active, and one of them is trained to detect fentanyl.
Dog.
And so what can happen is there can be some drugs that come in the mail, like on the sticker, on the stamp. And so we're always checking that to make sure it doesn't get in the facility.
Check. Canine Apollo, he screens the mail and packages for narcotics. We've seen all kinds. Anything they think they can get in, they will mail in.
And here's the deal. We have to be right every single time. The bad guys only have to be right once. Because if we allow a piece of contraband into the facility, it can be deadly.
Can you put a training aid down? After we've run the mail and we know it's clear, we'll plant a training aid just for fun to keep him engaged. Check. And then once he locates it, ultimately he'll sit and I'll pay him his little reward and then we play. Good boy, good boy, good boy, okay. Apollo very much loves the job. He gets very excited to come to work. Come on.
All right, let's roll.
Hop it. All right, gentlemen, shakedown.
Sergeant Hauk is leading his team of deputies in a random shakedown of C Unit.
We do shakedowns randomly, daily, weekly. We're always looking to do a shakedown because we have to get contraband out of the facility as quickly as they think they can get it in here. It's a cat and mouse game.
Activate.
Virginia Beach Correctional Center is one of just a few jails across the country to deploy body-worn cameras on its deputies, documenting every interaction to protect staff, inmates, and the integrity of the jail.
ID's on the mat. ID's on the mat, yes, sir.
Inmates are systematically brought out of their cells and patted down thoroughly for contraband.
Come on, man, put the toothbrush down. It's not time to be brushing your teeth. Let's go. More than enough time to get ready.
After each inmate is cleared, they are moved into the rec yard, where the entire population will wait, while officers begin searching the cells and common areas.
We're looking for any contraband that they may have. Weapons, drugs, tattoo kits. They like to mess with the e-cigs and use the batteries where they'll heat up water to make ramen. We'll find shanks. They'll take something as simple as a pair of eyeglasses. They'll sharpen the ends. They become very creative and try to make things that they want or they need.
We have tablets in here and they use the headphones and they coiled it together and wrapped it and created that. They make all sorts of interesting things of this nature.
What did you guys find here?
Scrabble pieces. We don't have the board. It's just little pieces of soap they've carved out and let dry rolled good and then write it with an inmate pen. They just keep marking over it until it digs in and creates the ink.
And so why would that be something that has to be taken away?
While they've turned this into a game, you put this in the bottom of the sock and you swing it around. It could also be used as a weapon.
Salt and pepper.
Sergeant, help.
They found something.
What'd you find?
346 upper tier. It was in between his bed.
Sergeant, what is that?
It is a bag of white powdery substance. It could be anything from crushed soap to narcotics. But we're gonna have to figure out what exactly this is.
All I did really was just flip his bunk over, and it was underneath some tissue paper, and they're just trying to hide it for me to overlook and just think it's just tissue instead of me shaking it out. But I shook it out and it fell out.
If it's narcotics, that's a lot.
Yes, it is.
But what we'll most likely do from here on is we got to investigate it. So we got to follow proper procedures, Mirandize them, interview them, and then we'll refer to our criminal intelligence unit who handles any criminal investigations. But we'll most likely have to send it out for testing and confirm whether or not it is a drug of some sort. It could take a month or so. It just depends on how busy the lab is.
All right, let's get all the trash out. All right.